could not be more excited. Jimmy is taking me on a special date today. We're driving to Chattanooga, just me and him, and what do you got planned for me?
Well, I bought a car.
Wait, what did you just say?
I bought a car.
Okay.
It's actually pretty cool, huh?
I like it. I like it.
Well, Ferris, this is it. It's a little rough around the edges.
A little rough,
Yeah.
but you can fix that.
Oh yeah.
You can fix anything.
The dash has the typical 4th gen 4Runner cracking, and it's very, very dirty. The original owner, I mean, they used this. They put a lot of love into this thing, but he decided not to do any sort of cleaning, so you can see how dirty the dash is.
The AC works good.
Yeah, the AC works really good.
This AC works better than my car.
So I think this thing could benefit from a lot of cleaning. I mean, obviously, like if you look at the carpet, if you look at the seat, we need to do something about that. You know, the door panels are pretty dirty.
It's a car that's had some adventures,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
I like it.
It's been well loved.
This was the best date ever, Jim. Like, it's just like, I kind of want it. Like, I don't want to drive my Envoy anymore, and I want you to clean this up really nice. And I want this to be my car. You recorded me saying that?
Yeah. So here's kind of like the back door panel, like what I was talking about. It's just dirty, and there's also some of the dog like claw prints in it. I'm wondering if that can come out somehow, maybe with steam. But I know I can clean this up looking really nice. Like all this area in here can obviously be totally cleaned and looking nice. This was, I guess, spilled wine.
What's that?
And all this, I mean, this is probably just, you know, years and years of dirt. This thing has, oh, we haven't mentioned the mileage on it. For mileage, we're looking at 236,490 miles. Never did I think I would ever be buying a vehicle with that many miles on it.
I just heard noises.
You heard noises?
Yeah,
What do you-
listen.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
So, oh, you heard that. Listen.
Ah!
Well, you can't hear it. This back window was broken. Obviously, I asked if it was broken into. He wasn't sure. He had a bunch of fishing gear back here. It's a possibility, but he said nothing was taken. So he said he also used this heater. I don't know if that's a common thing for this heater to somehow break a window, but there's still glass in here. It was professionally replaced. Everything works. It rolls up and down, but I got to take this panel off and vacuum out the rest of the glass.
Are these the original floor mats?
Yeah, I think all these are the original floor mats. It does have like this second level here, which ends up being a shelf up on this area. So that's actually kind of cool. But there's a lot of room back here when you really look, like for groceries and what have you. Like if you wanted to, yeah. You know, like the biggest thing I see with this is like cleaning it up. I mean, it definitely could use a massive deep clean for sure. There's a little ding right here, which is not that big of a deal, but it's, you know, I mean, I'm wondering if I could pull that out with one of those paintless.
I'm excited to see this get Jimmy. You know?
Yeah. I think he said 2 years potentially on these tires, but they're decent tires. They're Cooper Discovery AT3, so 265/70 R17, and they still have decent tread on them. So that's some money saving right there, because I mean, we all know a new set of tires is like what, between $1,200 and $1,500. So that actually is awesome. And here's the front tires. You can see a lot of tread left as well. I could probably rotate these just to be safe. But when you look at the hood, you know, it's typical sun-baked hood, but I think I have a plan for this. Obviously cleaning it, but a wrap maybe? Roof line, kind of the same thing.
Like a wrap that says one road on it?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but something cool. It's never been in an accident so far as I can tell. There's a little scrape here. You know, we need to clear these headlights up. And there's one kind of like major ding right here, which you can see. He was telling me he had scraped a wall, and he said he about cried when he did this. But I'm thinking fender flare off, pop the majority of this part back out a little bit, that might not have anything I can do to it, but I don't think that's that bad. So yeah, there's one issue, well, one glaring issue. There's probably many issues, but the one issue with this is there's a battery drain that he couldn't figure out. So, you know, it's running right now, but if I were to turn it off, I don't know how quickly the battery would completely drain out, but apparently, like overnight for sure, you put the key in and no lights even come on. So you gotta basically jump start it and then it runs just fine. So the other part of that is that the cigarette lighter plug thing for like charging your phone doesn't work. And so that may be part of that issue. There may be some wires crossed or who knows what. But a lot of miles, more miles than I thought I would be buying. But for the price, you know, hopefully the engine is healthy. It seems healthy. I'm definitely got to do a tune-up, like probably needs all new spark plugs, you know, some sea foam. You guys know me on this channel. I'm a little afraid to shut this thing off so we can go into Walmart and buy some sea foam.
So seriously though, like, are you gonna turn it off?
So one of the best things I think about this 4Runner, what kind of sold me on it, was this. This is the Toyota 4.7 liter V8. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, this is a 2005 model. You can see the sticker here. The timing belt has been done at 102 miles and also at 200,000 miles. So we're only 36,000 miles off of the last timing belt change. So they have been doing the proper maintenance on this, and all at the Toyota dealership, which is cool. I'm just gonna check the oil right now. It's been sitting while we ran into Walmart. Usually you kind of have to let it sit for longer so that you can get a proper level on the dipstick, but I just want to see what we got. I mean, the oil doesn't look bad. It's definitely a nice amber color. It's not like, you can tell there's no water in it. It's not super black. You know, it looks like we got enough, you know. I can see it all the way up to here, but that's just because everything is sloshed around in the oil dipstick tube. But that's the second. I'm assuming it needs to be between these two dots, or maybe up to this second dot. We do have oil. It doesn't look horrible. So why don't we go get some fuel, throw the seafoam in, hit the road. The monster truck and SUV can. All right, so far everything is going good. Engine feels good, nice and smooth, quiet. Trying to figure out how to work that cruise control. I think I got it figured out. Well, I thought I'd point out my fuel mileage. If you can see that screen there, it looks like we're at 15.5 miles per gallon. Well, I just hit a bunch of traffic, but I just wanted to give you an update. An update on the fuel mileage. You can see 16.6. That is pretty good. So that's probably gonna drop now that we're in traffic. I think we just did about 80 miles. Tried to keep it around 70 miles per hour. I'm sure this is gonna take a hit on that fuel mileage, but that's pretty good for a 4.7 liter V8 in a decently heavy SUV. All right, well, I'm in here trying to investigate a little bit about the powered battery drain and look inside of this cigarette lighter. Good old Abraham Lincoln down there. Well, that explains why that didn't work, but does that also randomly explain our power drain, our battery drain? Let me try to get that thing out of there because I couldn't do it with my fingers. I'm gonna have to get some sort of tool. That thing is like, it is jammed in there. What if this is the problem, guys? What if this is all it is? Could be possible. The penny's out. You can obviously see the state of this vehicle with all this dog hair and dirt. I mean, it just hasn't been cleaned. And like I said, it's been well used, well loved. So no fault for that. It's just, I gotta clean this. So what do you guys think? Could that have been causing the battery drain? That penny kind of like arcing and causing things to heat up or something and constantly be on? I don't know. It's really interesting though. So with the key on, of course, I can confirm, I don't know if you can see that blue light there, but this actually works now. So that's pretty awesome. Battery's not dead yet. One other thing I've noticed taking a peek under the hood is that here we have the valve cover. And if we look right down there, yeah, right down there, you can see that we do have a leaky valve cover. So that should be no big deal to swap out those gaskets. Well, I made it home, obviously. And I do have to say, this thing drove extremely well. Plenty of power with this engine. Nice and smooth. Air conditioning works, although the air conditioning compressor does sound a little bit suspect. Other than that, I mean, it drove excellent. Like I said, I've always been Chevrolet, GMC, basically GM vehicles, and I'm really used to how they drive. Like my Suburbans, and they drive good, like a big boat. This thing is just, it's sporty. It almost feels tuned. The suspension on this, and I bet these are the original shocks. Maybe they've been swapped out once, but they are old. The suspension feels so dialed. And this thing, I don't know if you can tell, it does have like a puck lift. There's a little spacer on top of the springs all the way around. So there is a little bit of a lift, and that could deteriorate the actual ride quality, but you know, I mean, it felt really, really good. Engine compartment looks pretty decent. Looking down at that serpentine belt, I can see some small cracks just on the edges there. Probably still good for a while. I'll probably change it out though, just to be safe. I'm noticing right down here on this ground screw, you can see some scratches, and that actually is a good sign. That means that somebody went in here and was checking the condition of all the ground. So they took a piece of sandpaper, kind of scratched it up a little bit just to make sure that ground connection was good. And so I actually like to see that. So you saw me check the oil. The oil was good. It looked clear. It looked good, like good oil. The level was okay. And I've never looked at this air filter though. So why don't we do that now? You can see this clip, the actual plastic here that this clip would clip to is gone. Let's check the condition of this air filter. Oh, wow. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. That actually looks relatively clean. Let's take it out in the sunlight. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's not bad. So I'm actually happy to see that as well. I mean, that means that they're changing these things out. And when you're changing out air filters, you're also changing the oil. So that's a good sign. So here's the roof. It's kind of the same condition as that hood there, you know, just sun-baked paint. Interestingly, the sunroof works. Everything apparently works perfect. I haven't tried it myself, but that's what I was told. But when we look up here at the rack, I just thought this was interesting. It says crossrail position for minimum wind noise while not in use. I mean, how smart is that? They're telling us where to put these cross rails to have the least amount of wind noise. I love that. And I'm assuming this little arrow is probably supposed to be center line with this rail. Yep, that makes sense, because this rear one all the way back as far as it can go is center with, well, kind of center with this arrow. So all right, well, this is very promising. I'm not holding my breath. If we look at my voltmeter here, this says 12.4 volts. I just left and ran some errands and came back. That is actually higher than it was when I left. When I left, it said 12.32. Now it's saying 12.4. So that battery seems to be stable. I feel like if I did still have that issue of the battery drain where in the morning it's completely dead, why didn't I lose any juice over the last hour? It's actually been longer than that. All over a penny. Please, Lord. Okay, listen, ready? Can you hear that? You can hear the glass in here. So there's this pull handle right here. After removing this bolt, you can then just kind of wiggle your fingers in here and just start popping this down. You can see it's kind of held in with these style clips here. You kind of have to pull quick, otherwise you could possibly break them. Panel removed. Oh yeah. Wow, okay. And that confirms it right there. There's all the glass. All right, after a bunch of clean out, let's see if we can hear anything. One piece fell. So the other reason why I wanted to take that panel off is this dent right here. Seems like it can be popped back out. I'm almost positive. I think that's it, right there. Center frame right here. Not much room to be able to put pressure on there. Oh, yes. No way. Okay, part of it looks like there's another little bit right there. All right, well, it's now the next day. I have the key fob here. We are gonna check whether that penny was the culprit in this battery drain. So here we go. Let's see if this works, because normally when the battery drains, it's like completely dead, like nothing works. No lights, nothing. So I'm gonna hit the unlock button. No way, it unlocked. Put the key in. That's a good sign. Everything's working, that's a good sign. Get to the meter here. Put it on voltage, and we gotta select DC. Look at that, we have over 12 volts. Now, like I said before, I think it should be at about 12.5. This isn't the correct battery, and it's fairly old. So that could be the reason for the under 12.5, but that's enough to start this thing. I'm pretty sure that'll start this thing. And it's fairly close to what we left with last night. So I am thinking that we fixed the battery drain, and it was all because of that penny. Oh my gosh. You know, all the lights on this 4Runner are incandescent bulbs. They're non-LEDs, and I have been having the doors open for a long time while I was working on this thing yesterday. So that's another reason why that battery could have drained out a little bit, because I was trying to be conscious of it, but I definitely left those doors open. We have the lights right here on the steps as well. Those are incandescent. Those things draw a lot of power, and these doors were open for a long time. Wow, it started up. It started up. Wow. Well, everybody, I think we fixed the battery drain. Couldn't be more stoked. Got a lot more to do. Well, all right, guys, you just saw us go through, in our world, somewhat of a whirlwind of, well, finding this thing, going and buying it. I then had to go back home for the night, and then we had to drive back out 2.5 hours to pick it up together, and then try to get home. That was the big question mark, too.
I followed close by just in case anything happened.
Yeah.
He's okay.
We were worried. Number one, it's a used car that we don't know, and it has 236,000 miles on it. And number two, this battery drain thing. I mean, we went to Walmart. Mm-hmm. Like
maybe 10 minutes in there, if that.
I jump-started the car. We drove 15 minutes to Walmart, and by the time we came out, it was dead. So the battery drain was a serious thing, and that's something that the prior owner had told me. He fully disclosed, hey, it's got this crazy battery drain. I've taken it in, had 2 different places look at it. Neither of them could figure it out. So I was pretty nervous about that, but it seemed like there was no battery light on in the car when we drove, and everything worked when you're driving and that alternator was turning. So I was just a little nervous, that's all.
Do they know about the penny thing already? Or no?
Yes, they saw the penny thing.
Okay.
Yes.
The penny footage. That's just crazy to me. I mean, when it's something so simple like that. So far, so good on the battery drain, right?
So far. We're going to test it one last time, and I'll go over that when we do that. But
can I test it?
You can test it. Okay. I can teach you how to test the battery.
Okay, I'm going to do it. My first time.
All right. That's a good idea. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so it's a 2005 I almost said GMC. It's a 2005 Toyota 4Runner. It's a limited 4-wheel drive, and it's got the 4.7 liter V8. It's got 236,000 miles. The guy I bought it from was the second owner of 8 years. Before that, the story, he bought it at a dealership. The story was it was a soccer mom who always took great care of it. So I'm stoked on that. So the maintenance was always done on time as far as oil changes, and basically anything that it needed, it was brought in either to a dealership or a Toyota Lexus specialty shop.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as that maintenance goes, one of the most recent things that this thing has had done to it, which during my little bit of research, I found out is a very common issue, is that I think it's called the secondary air injection system, which are common to fail on these things, okay? So what's so interesting about that is that was done, I guess it was done a few different times at this Toyota Lexus specialty shop, and they kind of did it in like pieces, and then things kind of kept breaking, and so they took it to an actual dealership and paid for the entire system to get, replaced, I guess.
Couldn't have been cheap.
It was over $2,000, okay?
Dang.
That's crazy to me. I would have tried, because of just me, I would have tried to do that all myself. I can't believe, it's awesome. When I'm saying that's crazy, that's awesome that it's been dealt with.
It's one last thing that you have to do.
Especially that it's a common problem. Oh, another cool thing is the tires on this vehicle, which I have receipts, guys. Also, all of these things we're talking about, I have receipts to back it all up. These tires are only 1 year old, okay? From Discount Tire. I have the receipt. I called them up because we're having a TPMS light flash. And they're 1 year old, under warranty and everything, 65,000 mile warranty. So that's cool because they were, and even the spare is this tire. And I think the total was either 12 or 1,500 bucks. I can't remember what that number was.
You know, I like, you know, all the extra money saving on this, but what's the bad news? Is there any bad news?
The bad news is you saw the condition of the interior. Now, he fully disclosed to me that, you know, he used this vehicle as an adventure vehicle.
That's cool.
And he left it like that because he wanted me to see like how he used it, how his everyday, day-to-day routine was with it. And I appreciate that. Not only do I appreciate that because it just let me in on a little bit of his life with the vehicle and what the life that the vehicle went through, but now I get to clean it for you guys. I mean, if you saw that, which you did, that interior is pretty dirty. I can't imagine what that before and after video is going to look like once I get that interior clean. I don't know if I can do all of it in one video.
That might be something I might actually have fun cleaning and helping you with if you'd let me.
Ooh, in the Tennessee summer when it's 94 degrees outside and about 65% humidity or higher.
Anything for you, babe.
Okay, you guys heard that. You saw me cleaning out the glass out of the rear hatch. So the window, he has security cameras, never saw anyone bash in the window. So it just shattered. No idea how. Nothing was stolen inside, and there was glass all in there. But I cleaned it out, so that's good. I also was able to kind of sort of pop out that dent, and you saw that happen. I still need to I want to get one of those paintless dent repair puller things and go all the way with that dent.
There's going to be so many exciting videos on this car, and I can't wait. I mean, I can wait because I'm excited to see what you do, but just the before and after alone of the interior is going to be crazy.
Yep. Also nice is that I got 2 original keys with the key fobs. Okay, a downside. It definitely needs a brake job. So as I was driving it home, I could tell the more I drove it, the more the brakes were kind of warming up. I could tell that those brakes were kind of like, I can say also, I'm pretty sure this has that X-Riaz shock system where it's like hydraulically connected diagonally, and everything I've seen on YouTube says take that system out and just go with you know, some standard shocks, which I'm normally a go-to Bilstein shock.
Tomato.
So so what do you guys think? Comment below as far as shocks to replace that original, because I think these are the original shocks, which it still feels good, which is bizarre. Speaking of that, let's stick with that suspension theme. This, you can probably tell, has the little puck lift. I don't know how tall it is. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know if those are good or bad. I don't know if it was installed correctly. So I'm a little concerned about that. Anyways, I kind of want to go through the whole suspension, the ball joints. You know, I think I have to replace an axle boot, which you've seen before. And I want to like kind of make sure everything is good. Okay, the other major things are the hood and the roof. They're totally sun-baked. I think that's pretty common on these things. I don't know how much or if I can possibly bring this back. I don't think I can. I may be able to get it to look better, but my thought process is a wrap. Like wrapping this with, you know,
You're gonna be
something.
A rapper? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a rapper. So what do you think? Is that like something I should try? I think I should.
Yeah, I say why not? What's the worst thing that can happen?
What's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah.
I can waste a bunch of money and time.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But that's how you learn. I'm obviously going to do a full tune-up on this thing. You know, oil change, spark plugs, air filter, whatever I can do to get it to be running as good as I can possibly get it to be running. And last thing I'll touch on is the bumpers. I'm pretty sure I want to do full off-road metal bumpers. I was thinking ARB. Those things are expensive though.
Metal
but
ones are cool.
But what other brands, companies that are like rock solid and not just some like cheapy thing? Like, I want something that's good, like purposefully built, that fits good and like has no issues. So front and back, let me know. All right, babe. First step to testing the voltage on the battery is opening the hood. It's already popped from the inside, so how do you open it the rest of the way? Okay, lower. 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 Lower.
Oh, lower like here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I feel something. There we go.
You got it. Okay, I have not told her how to do that, so that was all her.
All right.
Okay, where's the battery?
This is the battery.
Okay.
I know that.
Yep, that's the battery.
Okay.
How many cold cranking amps does it have? Just kidding.
42?
No, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Press straight down so it makes a good connection. You know, use a little bit of force. Okay, what are we seeing? 12.61 volts. Is that good or bad?
That is good.
And why?
Because it's like a, I don't know.
12.61. Okay, guys, I think that all but confirms that we have fixed the battery drain problem we had on this thing.
A penny.
From a penny. Never owned a 4Runner and always have wanted one. And I know Ferris will love driving it, so that's...
I already claimed it as my car, once he's done with it.
Well, hey, you know what that means, though. If she gets it, then I get another one. And on that bombshell, I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Ferris.
For One Road. And we will see you
on the next one.